Hi everyone, this is Jessie, and I hope you're all doing well, healthy, safe, and indoors. Um, so this is a little how-to video about how to build your website, and we've talked about why it's important in class. I'm not going to spend time really talking about that, but it's good, I think, to have a corner of the internet that's your own and that you can control yourself, and that you know how to make updates to. Um, so before you watch this video, you should have done two things. One, you should have registered a domain name, either your name or version of it, and or the name of a project. And I asked you to do this at Hover. I also sent an earlier email asking you to register for a free site on Weebly, which is a host provider or web host. So in this video specifically, I'm going to walk you through the steps about how to point your domain to your host provider. In other words, how to connect the domain you registered at Hover to the website you're going to build at Weebly. Now, there are lots of, just like there are lots of domain registrars, and I chose Hover, there are tons of web hosts where you could build a website, and I have used lots of others. I just picked Weebly for this exercise so that we could all be using the same platform, and it's pretty easy. It's user-friendly, and the free version isn't too obnoxious, and it looks good from the World Wide Web. It's what I have my personal site on. But like I said, I have other sites, and they have different backends. They have different web hosts. But let's get started on this one. Okay, so first of all, go to your Hover account and sign in. And you want to get to what's called the control panel. Let's get signed in to Hover, and you'll see I have an outrageous number of domains listed, registered here for projects I'm working on and different versions of my name. But you want to find yours. You should probably just have one, and then click on it. This is the one I keep active for my personal stuff. And yeah, so on your view, you should have lots of different options. Mine's already telling me it's connected to Weebly, but let's take another one and let me show you what it will probably look like. So if I go back to all domains, and I'll just take this one, jessienyc.com. Right, this should be what your view is. You should have easily connect your domain to your favorite service. So they're calling these services here. Sometimes they call them web hosts. But here I'm just suggesting you click on Weebly. And when you do, you'll get this pop-up menu. And you just want to click the connect button. Okay. And then it's going to start the process of what's called propagation, of redirecting your domain name from just the place it's parked now at Hover to an actual website. Okay, so just click that button connect, and we'll come back to Hover in a little bit. So now you're going to go over to Weebly, which is this site, and you're going to click login. And once you do that, you should get to the dashboard view. Let me just show you what that looks like. Right, so once you click, this is the main dashboard view on Weebly, and then you're going to click on Edit Site, and that's how you're going to build your website. Right, so the basic building block, so what Weebly's done here is they've taken some of the basic elements of that are commonly used on websites, and they've made them into buttons that you can drag and drop onto your page like that to add elements. So if I wanted to add an image on this main page here, I would take this button that says image and I would drag it here, and then once it loads, then I can go here, whatever, I can click on something and upload a photo from my computer onto the website, in the usual way that you would do. So if I wanted to say upload a picture, you know what I'm doing in my spare time now. This is a picture of beautiful interior, colorful interior design. And then if you decide you don't like that, you don't want it on your website, you can just X that out. You sure you want to delete this element? Yes, I want to. So that's the basic principle of Weebly. And then what you're doing, like the one thing you probably want to do is you want to build out pages. So I would click pages, and you see on the left-hand side here how I have my menu items basically built out here. And if I were to go to the About page, it's going to click over to About, and it has different things about me. If I were to go back, and I can do this two ways. I can also go over here and click Books, CV, and Other Writing. Right. So let's talk about this part, which you're going to have, you know, I would expect that at this point in your career, you're going to have a home page, an About page. Your CV could maybe be in a separate page, all on its own, and then you could have your publications as a separate page. And there are different ways to do this. So here's part of the way that I've done this. So this is, I've just listed my CV here, and I've clicked, this link is to a separate file, which you can do here. You just click on the little icon that's a chain, and you click File, and then you can upload a separate file in your CV. For you, I might suggest that you go ahead and do a version where you can see it just by scrolling. And then the other thing I've mentioned to you before in class is to have a list of your publications. So for me, I want people to find my academic publications, but I want them to go to the CUNY repository. So I did that by just linking my CUNY, oh, that doesn't work. Okay, I need to fix that. This is supposed to go right to my CUNY repository page. And then the writing that I wanted this site to lead people to was the other kinds of writing that I've done, which is more op-ed and creative writing. So I've listed those here. Now you could do this with your academic writing, just have it linked to your, I would say put it in a repository and then link to it there, but you can also link to it as a file. So let's see if this goes. Yeah, so this one worked. This is to my repository page on CUNY Academic Works, and it's from a talk I gave at the UN, and it links to that. I just don't have the link to the whole page working, but I will fix that. Right, so those are the basic elements of it. Once you have it arranged the way you want to, and when you're in build mode on Weebly, no one else can see what you're doing, so you can sort of play with it as in a sandbox. And then once you're ready to make changes, you click Publish, and please wait while we publish your site. And this is about the only thing that Weebly does to sort of upsell you. They're going to ask you to upgrade, and it just means that you get fewer of these ads, you get some other built-in analytics and some other bells and whistles, but mostly you don't need it, I think. And I've never upgraded on Weebly, just for this basic kind of portfolio site that I have. So those are the basics, and in a day or so, your website should connect from Hover. So your domain name, whatever you've registered, should point to that Weebly site, so that you have a site that's yourname.com.org, whatever you've registered, and it should have images. You know, I guess one other thing I would say about images, you want to find high quality images that are free to use. And there are lots and lots of these around, but people want to sell you things. One of the ones that I've been using lately that I like a lot is Pixabay, and they have very, very high quality images. And I would suggest, if you're not taking your own images, which is another way to go, I would suggest finding a site like Pixabay where you can find images that are copyright free. That is, they're not licensed, and you're not ripping off someone's work, and they are very good quality. So that's it for now. Save your questions for our online class on Thursday, and I'll be happy to take them. All right, take care. Bye.